Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Behind the Line podcast. My name is Elliot.
And I'm Tyler.
And we are the hosts of this podcast. We're excited. We got a lot of fun stuff here on the episode for you today. But first and foremost, we've got some things that we want to announce. Fall is happening.
Dude, it's September.
It's crazy.
By the way.
Every month that comes, I'm like, how? How is it? How are we?
Remember summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't get it.
So fast.
I don't get it. You know what else I thought about? There's a lot of songs. Well, there's at least 2 songs that are themed around September that I can't wait to sing on the day.
Green Day.
Well,
you sing that at the end of September.
You sing that at the end,
right?
And then Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh yes,
September. So those are at least 2
jams. Is that
jams.
the one where it starts? Do you remember?
Yeah. September 21st. Mark your calendar. That's when you sing Earth, Wind, and Fire. September.
I love it.
But we also got some fun stuff coming up here at State Line. Our fall rush is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Rooted is happening. We can't wait for that. That's the 13th and the 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. We're having 2 different options, 2 different nights.
Yep, 2 different nights, and we're excited about that. It's super community led, like it's all about community, and it really gives us an opportunity to get to know the people that we go to church with every week. Some people that you might not have interacted with before. It turns Leslie likes to say it turns a crowd into a community, right? And so, I'm excited. Just for all the different people that get to go through it this season. I went through it. You went through it.
Yeah.
It's definitely powerful and life-changing. So I'm excited to hear the stories that come out of it. So
yeah, if you haven't registered for it, definitely register for it.
Most definitely. And then if you have gone through Rooted and you're thinking like, well, what else is there out there for me? Well, we have a learning community that's also coming up that's called The Power of Knowing God. It's a book study out of Tony Evans.
Yep.
Okay. Out of a Tony Evans book. And we actually got some momentum, some steam happening. There's some people who are signing up for it.
Yeah, it's a good group already.
Yeah. So
it's 6 weeks, so it's kind of like a short-term thing. Jump in, jump out when it's done. That starts that Tuesday, right? Is that the 12th?
Yeah.
Or the 13th, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be really fun too. Make sure that and for all this stuff too, you can head to our events page and all the stuff will be there for you. Links to register, all that as well.
Childcare provided for both the learning community and for Rooted.
Yep. And then there's a bunch of stuff that's happening in kids too.
Yeah.
As well.
So childcare is on Tuesday nights for kids, but Wednesday nights your children will be taken care of. But it's going to be a more intentional time for the elementary age kids. But any age kid will have childcare provided. But for elementary, Caroline and Beth Ann, they're putting together a kids club, like more of an intentional curriculum and program that's going to happen during all of the Rooted weeks. And so that'll be a great opportunity for your kids to be able to connect with other kids and grow closer to them and learn a little bit more. It won't be the same experience as a Sunday. It'll be a little bit different. More like, not Awana, but like kind of Awana, like a fun time where you can learn about Scripture, grow closer to each other, that kind of stuff. So
all
that'll
stuff
happen
for their context and their age and stage.
Yeah,
and
totally. So they'll have a blast with that. So that's during all 10 weeks of Rooted.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited about that. And then
we got Parents Night Out.
Which
is just a free date night for parents, so take advantage of that. It'll be for all kids up through 5th grade, so all kids that would be normally in State Line kids. That's going to happen on September 23rd. The times I don't know the exact times. It'll be in the evening, so you can drop them off, go on a date, come back, pick them up. The kids will be fed. The kids will have a great time during that. And then we have child dedications on September 11th. And so if you haven't dedicated your child and you'd like to, we'd love for you to register for that on the events page or the app as well.
Yeah. And then for us adults, we got
us grown people.
We've got a new series starting Sunday, September 4th, which is our romance novel series, which is going to be good. I think there's a lot of really helpful information in that. And then attached to that, at the end of the series, we'll have an event called Refine Us, which is also going to be really cool. We're going to have 2 speakers come in, guest speakers, and tell us a little bit about their story, just really talk about marriage, the heart of marriage, all those different things too. From what I've heard, they've got an amazing testimony.
Yeah, I've heard them speak, and they are great communicators, an amazing story of redemption, but just more about tools of their marriage and how they've grown closer to each other. Mm-hmm. And that's on September 17th from 8:30 till noon, and we will have childcare available for that as well. So make sure, if you're married or engaged, planning to be married, we'd love for you to register for that.
Yeah. And then moving into the verse of the month today, which really talks about relationships. It's kind of themed around our romance novel series, which is about relationships as well. And it's James chapter 1, 19 and 20. And it says, "Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires." And that's James chapter 1, 19 and 20. And I've been studying this just a little bit, and it really reminds me, I am one that is quick to speak and quick to be angry. And it really reminds me to take a second and process what's going on, what's the situation like, and honestly ask, like, what is this person, whether it's my wife or it's one of my friends, like, what are they actually trying to say? Mm-hmm. And the things that I get the most angry about actually are like correction. It's stuff when people are trying to help me, they see like a flaw or a fault or something that they want me to grow in, and they're trying to help me. Yeah. And I'm like so quick to get angry about it, but I really need to take a step back and sit and think, okay, what are they trying to say? I know this person is for me. Right. Like whatever they're saying is also for me too. It's for my benefit too. And so that's that verse really makes me think about that and really ponder and figure out, okay, well, how can I get better at that? You know what I mean?
And it boils down to, if you're speaking to all relationships, but especially with your spouse, believing the best, believing that they're not trying to make you feel small or belittle you, but they're trying to help you become the best version of you.
Right.
For me, I've got like probably a 10-minute window where if something irks me and I take 10 minutes and like remove myself from the conversation, that for me, it's going to be different for everybody. That's the amount of time I need to kind of process it. Yeah. And my defenses go down. And so if I can have the self-control to not react or say something back in the moment, but just say like, I'm gonna walk away, or I'm gonna process this, and about 10 minutes later, I feel like that's what it takes for me to remember to believe the best. Yeah. Remember that this is my person, that Randy loves me more than anybody, and she wants the best for us and for me. And then I can come back and have a much more level-headed conversation and not be defensive. I resonate with that a lot. Like, my first reaction, my sinful nature, is to be like put off by that, whatever it is that she would say, because I think that she thinks less of me, which is never the case. So yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm definitely on the same page with you, but for me, it's 10 minutes. For somebody else, it might be 5. For somebody else, it might be an hour, but whatever you need to take, remove yourself so you can come back and have that conversation.
And I think one thing too, on top of that I'm learning as well, is that like, it's really hard to find people who are willing to be honest with you completely and realize that it also took courage for that person to come up and tell you something that they saw, and they knew most of the time they know you and they know like your personality, they know like what gets you going, and so for them to have the courage to come and say, hey, I saw this, I don't really know if you should be doing this, or I don't know if you should really have said that, or like that takes a lot of courage too. And so like even that should really help you to see like, man, they didn't have to say that, and they took a risk by saying this too. So
that's a good point.
They really do like care and value about like my character and my personality, who I am. And so that's one thing that I've been learning a lot too, and that this verse really reminds me of as well. So
yeah, that's great.
So yeah, that was James chapter 1 verses 19 and 20. If you want to check that out. We also had some fun stuff happen as well here at State Line. This past month, baptism, which was one of our collective moments of the month. Baptism was incredible. I think we had was it like a record high or something like that?
Yeah, I believe it was 28, which is the highest we've ever had at a single baptism.
So crazy. That is unbelievable. It's like, Greg calls it, you get to see like real life transformation.
Yep.
And it was so amazing just seeing all the smiles and all the like it really feels like you can see like the weight like just drop off of people, and they walk out of that pool feeling brand new. It's so cool to witness.
It was amazing being in the pool. And for me personally, there were some people that came through the pool, one in particular that I have had some good personal connection with. Went through Rooted Together, and to see this person go through baptism was just very like amazing. In a really, I was just super emotional in the moment. I love seeing that life change, and every time we do it, it's super powerful.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I almost want to be like, sign up for the next one. You know what I mean? Like it just.
November, right? I think we're going to have another one in November. So
November.
We're going to try to get that up on our events page right away, because I know I had somebody come up to me either right after baptism or the week after and say, when is the next one? I have to do it, because they saw what happened. They saw the life change.
Yeah.
And so, it's a cool moment.
Super hype moment for the church. And then we each had personal moments as well.
Yeah.
Some things that were happening throughout the month that moved us. And you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Like, mine is more of a kind of a peek behind the curtain of State Line, because we have staff members here that not a lot of people get to see because they're behind the scenes. And one of them was Tess, our administrative assistant. And my moment is more of a sad moment, but she transitioned off staff this past month. And so just to give her a shout out, because she's been a core part of the team for years now. I think it was like 3 years. And she's moving on to some cool things. She's going to be a counselor and go to school and doing all, or she went through school and she's going to be a counselor. And so it's very good reasons why she's transitioning off, but it's still a bummer for us, because we as a staff, we really love each other and get along. And it's I think rare for work environments for everybody to really enjoy each other. And so, it's always a bummer when that happens. So just give her a shout out. She was an awesome core part of the team.
Most definitely. And I was thinking about it the other day. When we were divvying up like some of the responsibilities that she had, I was like, oh my gosh.
All the things she did.
She was grinding, man. She was getting stuff done.
It's a miracle we haven't closed the doors since she transitioned off staff. She was doing stuff.
She was awesome. Shout out to Tess. We love you. You were awesome. And then my moment of the month, we did like a kind of like a mini student takeover on one of the Sundays this past month. And I got to film a video just of some of our students talking about student ministry and why they love it and why they think it's important. And hearing those answers come out of those students' mouths was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like,
they get
sometimes they get it. Yeah. I think sometimes, and this isn't everything. I think sometimes you get caught up in the daily. Like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do, like, we become so task focused that we forget that, like, there's life change, there's things happening, there are things moving. And so like hearing those students talk about like the heart that they have for students and like why they think it's important and like why their relationship with Jesus matters and all that, I was just like blown away by it, you know? And I work with them every week, but it's just something about like really hearing their story and, you know, just a little bit about who they are. Just it kind of made me a little emotional. So
yeah, that's cool.
That was hype. I was excited for that. And I'm excited for the rest of the year. I think it's going to be a great year as well. Now for the moment that everyone has been waiting for, right? Greg's moment of the month.
Greg's quote of the month.
Greg's quote of the month.
Oh, man.
So everybody has heard the phrase that, like, Jesus makes everything better. Like, Jesus in your life makes everything better, which I would say is true. I'm sure you'd say that's true as well. But Greg takes everything, if that statement is like at a solid 10, Greg takes everything to like a 52. And so Greg literally is like, you'll hear this over as you go to church or if you've been here for some time, like Greg will say Jesus plus something and like, but make it super literal. So this, one of the past weeks, he said that, what's a better combination than Jesus and tacos?
That's right. So I think he was talking about like our patio party in the food truck or something.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, and what's a better combination than Jesus and tacos? And I was like, I mean, what can you really say to that?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say maybe like Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit, but I mean...
And tacos.
And tacos, yeah, that'd be better, but I was just like, okay... But then my brain started working, and I was like, would he even like tacos? Like, would that be
how would he not like a taco?
Would that be his jam? And then went to the next level, and I was like, if Jesus came back today,
Yeah.
what restaurants would I take him to? Like, how would I be a good host? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I like the idea that Jesus is just coming back to go to restaurants.
yeah, he just like
Not like tribulation stuff, like end times. He's just like, I'm going to pop in real quick for a couple restaurants. I like this. I like this.
if he was a guest speaker at State Line and we
Yeah.
had to take him out to lunch or dinner, like after the service.
Guest speaker at State Line.
Where would
Okay.
we take him?
Where would we take him?
Where would you want to take him? So we each have 3 restaurants in mind, and you can let us know in the comments, or if you see us on a Sunday, let us know who you think had a better list. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So the first one is pretty easy. It's like a no-brainer. Not only proximity to State Line, but because you have to go here, and it's Portillo's.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna treat Jesus to a Chicago-style hot dog and some fries.
No ketchup.
No
ketchup, by the way,
Nope.
guys.
Nope, just mustard, relish, celery salt, all the stuff you'd put on there. And then we're gonna get him a cake shake afterwards. And
Oh, man.
yeah. The problem is, he's gonna want to stay here. He's gonna be like, "Wait, they got Portillo's down here." So that's the downside of it, because they need him back up in heaven. But yeah, you got to treat him to a Chicago dog.
The picture of Jesus leaving eternity to stay for Portillo's is crazy.
He's like, "Dad, you didn't let me know about the hot dogs."
This is wild. Mine is definitely significantly worse than yours, but I feel like we'd have to take him to McDonald's, man.
Really?
We have to. No
To
matter
show him
what
the depravity of humankind.
Yes,
or what?
yes. No matter what anybody says, McDonald's fries are A1. They're unbeaten.
They're phenomenal.
They're unbelievable, and I feel like
He's got to experience it.
he's got to experience it.
Yeah.
He's got to experience it. Maybe a Big Mac. I don't know.
Of course, a Big Mac.
But you got to. That's America right there. Right there. A large fry and a Big Mac.
And a Big Mac.
Either a Sprite or a Coke. Their Sprite.
Coca-Cola.
They hit different from those machines.
That's true.
They got. I don't know what it is.
I was gonna say Chicago, but the McDonald's Coca-Cola and
Yes.
Diet Coke is amazing.
They hit different.
Yeah.
So he's got to try at least one of those things. So
yes,
I take
that's
him.
good. Yeah,
I take him to McDonald's.
I agree with that. All right, the second one I would take him to is Cooper's Hawk.
Okay. Yeah.
So a couple reasons. One, I've never had a bad meal at Cooper's Hawk, so can almost guarantee I'll have a good meal.
Very
but
good.
it's a winery. So
That's
he
true.
might pop in the back. He might make a barrel, right? There's a bucket of water back there. He's like, let me show you a little something. Comes back with some like stuff you've never even dreamed of before. So it's a winery, so he'd feel like right at home.
That would be the first time you'd try perfect wine.
Yes,
It'd have to be perfect,
yeah.
right?
Cooper's Hawk, yeah, it's pretty good, but it's not Jesus wine.
Oh no,
No.
couldn't be.
No.
couldn't be. Okay, Cooper's Hawk. I like that. I feel like the other place one of the other places I'd take Jesus would be Maggiano's.
Yeah,
Just a little bit of Americana Italian, a nice family feel, and then he gets double portion, right?
He gets one to take home to
He gets
heaven.
one to take home to heaven.
Yep.
So that's a slamming deal right there.
I like that.
Great
I like that.
Italian food, love it. One of my favorite places to eat. I'm sure some Italians are going to be upset with me, but
because it's not like authentic.
yeah, it's not authentic.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
it's good, though.
I enjoy it though. I feel like that double portion that's a killer right there, man. You get to take one home.
That's
So,
true.
Share with God up there in heaven. So
All right, and my final one is it's a place called Ed DeBevick's. Have you ever been there?
yeah.
So it's like a diner, but the shtick is that they treat you really poorly. Like the waiters and waitresses will like yell at you and stuff. And so here's what, in my mind, it would be great about this is if they know it's Jesus. And they're like, this is my job, but now I gotta yell at Jesus. So, Jesus is ordering, and they're just like telling him no and stuff. For me, I love awkward situations. Those are my favorite, and so to watch the waiter or waitress just squirm as they have to be a jerk to Jesus.
That would be the worst day.
But obviously, he would be like super kind about it.
Right, and I mean, deep down, he knows it's a shtick. Maybe
Yeah.
he'd play along.
he'd play along.
Of course not.
He'd have fun with it.
And then for me, the last place I would take Jesus is Cheesecake Factory,
Okay.
and I would want to see how in the world Jesus would pick from that ridiculous menu. because they literally have
yeah.
everything on planet Earth.
It's like 28 pages
It's
long.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I would just want to see what is it that he's going to pick out of this ridiculous menu of all kinds of things. And is Jesus a cheesecake guy? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is he? He might be. Maybe. Are you a cheesecake guy?
It's hit or miss. I don't gravitate towards it.
Really?
Nah. I mean, but it's okay.
Oh, man.
Some of it is really, really, really good, but I just don't gravitate towards
You
it.
give me a strawberry cheesecake by myself.
Yeah.
Wraps.
Game over.
Oh, man. It's game over. It really is. Oh, man. And then you drizzle the little, like, graham cracker. Oh, come on. Today.
You're going to Cheesecake Factory later.
Right now. I'm about to lose my job for a piece of cheesecake.
It's 9:45 in the morning.
It's time, man. It's time. I got to. Oh, man.
I'd like to think that Jesus appreciated this segment.
I think so.
He's got a sense of humor.
I think so. I think he's like, you know what? Maybe I will. What if he did? I mean, you never know. Hey, I tell you what. If he does come here and he does want to eat, throw down, we're prepared.
I can promise you, as fun as this bit was, when Jesus comes back, we're not going to Cheesecake Factory. It's gonna be like swords of fire and stuff, and horses riding, and it's gonna be different.
He's like, all right, lunch break.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's gonna be wild.
Oh man. Well, thank you for joining us today on this wonderful podcast. Hey, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Share this with a friend. We would love for you to do that.
Or an enemy.
Or an enemy. That's fine. Yep. We love your enemies too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then let us know what you think. Who had the best list? We can't wait to see you next month. We'll see you later.
Do you remember?
The 21st night of September.
Let's
Hey,
go.
it's taking me back.